Now, let's take a look at hardening in general. So security hardening. First of all, I'd like to reiterate Derek's comments from earlier. Service accounts are really useful and a really good place to look at your security from a user perspective for processes. You can use them so that system activities are not linked to individual users that may leave the company and all of a sudden some of your system stops working because their account has been disabled. One thing to mention is, though, do use them for scoped tasks. Do not have sort of an all-powerful service account. That is not good. Also, separation of duties. Always have more than one person completing a task. So, you're not having the developer coding, testing, and pushing it through all the environments. Even if it's just to catch an accidental thing, it's always good to have that second pair of eyes on things. As part of that, you can use within Octopus manual interventions. So this allows you to sort of add having a gatekeeper. So maybe before you do that production deployment, you want could be a stakeholder team, an individual from that team, or maybe a DBA before some sort of script gets run, or your sysadmins. So you can have them running, allowing that process to continue. And as mentioned earlier, least privilege. So make sure the user's access relates to their role at the company. I don't want access to a production environment unless I need to. I don't want any possibility at all that somebody can click on the button at the wrong moment or for the wrong task. Keep on top of CNAMEs. So it's always good to tidy up any resources you're not using. Primarily here in this sort of scenario, we're talking about CNAMEs. Any DNS entries for subdomains could, leave yourself open to a subdomain takeover. So it's all about sort of tidying up after yourself. And then runbooks. So we use within Octopus runbooks a lot to automate this sort of process. So security hardening to run those scripts against your servers, and you can set it up as some sort of desired state configuration. So maybe every night you run that security hardening script, and what it does is it resets everything back to that desired state. And alongside of that, you always want to keep your servers up to date with the latest patches. And again, that can be automated through your runbooks. I know you've got quite a few runbooks running on your home servers, haven't you, Derek?
Sure do. I love runbooks. It's one of my favourite features over the past, or actually, to be honest, it's probably my favourite feature for several years with Octopus. I've got quite a advanced home setup, and to be honest, like automating the installation of patches with for Linux and for Windows, there's nothing enjoyable about that. So what you can do is, I've got a runbook that runs for development on the 14th, test on the 21st, and then the last day of the month, production gets all the updates, and then it starts again on the next month as well. It just kind of takes that, takes out the stress in it, because it's quite a time-consuming thing, and to be honest, it's quite boring. So being able to use a runbook to like reapply your hardening and automate your Linux, Windows, and SQL patching is fantastic. It's actually, we have something on samples.octopus.app as well, where that's actually already in place. I initially actually done it on the samples app, and then took it down to my home and was able to then start upgrading all my web and SQL servers and Linux boxes. It's really great.